Democrats voted for it because they believed him. But it was a lie. Jonathan Gruber, the architect of Obamacare. Remember that name from a year and a half ago? Remember that name? People forget, but I don't forget. Admitted it was all a fraud. He said it was passed because of the stupidity of the American voter. Do you remember that guy?
I remember that.
But the only stupidity was that the officials who rammed this through over the objections of the American voter, this is what happened, did a tremendous disservice to our country. Job-killing Obamacare is just one more way the system is rigged. And I've been saying it for a long time. But you know what? What happened today, starting with the FBI, maybe the system will become a little less rigged. Hillary Clinton wants to double down on Obamacare, making it even more expensive. She also wants to put illegal immigrants on Obamacare, further collapsing our health care system in this country. Repealing and replacing Obamacare is one of the single most important reasons we must win on November 8th. By the way, who has voted so far? Raise your hand. That's not great. Who's going to vote? That's good. We're going to do great. Special place, special people, special place. Real change also means getting rid of the corruption in Washington. My contract with the American voter begins with a plan to take our government back from the donors and the special interests. I used to be a donor. I used to be a special interest. Now I'm very much an outsider. I may be the all-time. I might just be the all-time outsider. The day I announced. One day I was an insider, and then boom, oh boy, was I an outsider. But I knew what had to be done. I want the entire corrupt Washington establishment to hear us immediately when we say, when we win on November 8th, we are going to Washington, D.C., and we are going to drain the swamp. We're going to drain the swamp. 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 By the way, they just told me this is a record-setting crowd for this place. And I don't have a guitar, I don't have an instrument. At the core of my contract is my plan to bring back our jobs. Right now, 70 million American women and children live in abject poverty. Or something, what's happening in this country. This is the United States of America. Think of that number. 45% of African American children under the age of 6 live in poverty. Another 2 million Hispanic Americans have fallen into poverty under the Obama administration. 40,000 American veterans are homeless, are great people. These are our great people. Yet our government spends hundreds of billions providing benefits for people that are in our country illegally. We're going to turn it around, and that begins with a plan to lower taxes on American businesses from 35%, which is the highest anywhere in the world, to 15%, which is among the lowest. That includes massive tax cuts for family farms. Do you like that? We have some great farms. We're going to protect our family farms. Hillary Clinton's plan will shut down family farms all over the nation. She will do this not only through radical EPA regulation, and you know what's happening. The farmers are telling me all the time. EPA is destroying them. But also by raising taxes on family farms and all businesses to rates as high as 45 and 50%. Adding to the pain, Hillary wants to substantially increase the estate tax on family farms. In other words, it will be very hard to leave your farm to your children and your heirs. I'm eliminating the death tax. On top of that, her anti-energy agenda will radically drive up the cost of energy. Another attack on agriculture. I will end this war on the American farmers. The American farmers are incredible people. These are incredible people. And we will end that war. We will also reverse the EPA intrusion and eliminate the anti-farmer regulations, of which there are so many that it makes it very hard for you to compete with the farms of other countries. We will protect corn-based ethanol, importantly. And we will also cancel billions of dollars in climate change payments to the United Nations to help rebuild America's infrastructure. It's going to be America first. We will become a rich nation again. But to be a rich country, we must also be a safe country. Hillary wants a 550% increase in Syrian refugees flowing into our country. And that's over the thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming from Syria. We don't know who they are, where they're from. They're coming from Syria under President Obama. She wants to increase that number by 550%. The Hillary refugee plan would leave us with generations of terrorism, radicalism, and extremism inside of our shores. So let me state this as clearly as I can. When I'm elected president, I am going to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of this country. The Trump administration will also secure and defend the borders of the United States. And yes, we will build the wall. And yes, Mexico will pay for the wall. 100%. We have a massive trade deficit with Mexico. Great, wonderful people. I met with the leader 3 months ago, President of Mexico. Very good meeting. But we have a massive trade deficit with Mexico. Numbers are staggering. The cost of the wall is peanuts compared to what we're talking about. They will pay for the wall in one form or the other. They may not know that yet, but that's okay. Countless Americans who have died in recent years would be alive today if not for the open border policies of this administration. This includes incredible Americans like 21-year-old Sarah Root, who is right from this area, an incredible young woman. And I've spent time with her amazing family. The illegal immigrant who killed Sarah arrived at the border, entered federal custody, and then was released into the United States community under the policies of our very weak and very sad White House. He was released again after he killed Sarah and is now at large. Sarah graduated from college with a 4.0 index, top in her class, the day before she was killed. Her parents are great people. I've gotten to know them. They are great people. Just great people. Devastated. Always devastated. Will always be devastated. Hillary has pledged open borders and supports sanctuary cities. Under my contract with the American voter, we are going to cancel all funding for sanctuary cities. We also need a new foreign policy that puts America first. Hillary's policies have caused disasters in Iraq, Syria, Libya, and unleashed ISIS. With the great vacuum, created a vacuum. And now she stands up and says, I will get rid of ISIS. We didn't have ISIS until she came in. They created, look,
armed,
we
funded,
shouldn't
and
have gone to
trained them.
Iraq. Once we did, the way they got out was a disaster. They created this great open vacuum, and ISIS formed. Hillary and our failed Washington establishment have spent $6 trillion on wars in the Middle East, and now it's in worse shape over there than ever before by a factor of 10. Think of it. Think of it. $6 trillion, we could have rebuilt our country twice. Imagine if we used this money to rebuild America, including our inner cities, Chicago, Detroit, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Our failed establishment has dragged us into foreign wars that have made us less safe, have left our borders just totally wide open, and have shipped our jobs and wealth to other countries, cheered on by the friends of Hillary, who benefit from this, and always cheered on by the very dishonest media. But the real question is, who's more dishonest? Crooked Hillary Clinton or the media? Because, honestly, these are among the most dishonest people in the world, believe me. Our corrupt political class has enriched themselves, but left our families with poverty, unemployment, and rising crime. Now Hillary wants to start a shooting war in Syria in conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia, which could very well lead to World War III. This is over Syria, folks. To all Americans, I say it's time for new leadership.
U.S. out of Syria!
Just think about what we can accomplish in the first 100 days of a Trump administration. We are going to have the biggest tax cut since Ronald Reagan. We're going to eliminate unnecessary job-killing regulations. We'll cancel every illegal Obama executive order. We're going to provide, you're going to like this, school choice and put an end to Common Core, which is We will rebuild our military and take care of our great veterans who have not been properly taken care of. We have tremendous veteran and military support in this campaign. We're going to reduce surging crime and support the men and women of law enforcement. And by the way, you won't hear this from the media. We have the highest murder rate in this country in 45 years. You don't hear that from these people. They don't want to talk about it. The highest murder rate in the United States in 45 years. We're going to save our Second Amendment, which is totally under siege. And the NRA, which are great people, National Rifle Association, gave me the earliest endorsement they've ever given to anybody. Great people. And we're going to appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Americans are tired of being told by politicians that they have to defer their dreams to another day, but they really mean another decade or many decades away. Hillary has been there for 30 years, and she's accomplished nothing but negative results. She's made things worse. She is the candidate of yesterday. We are the movement of the future. Our movement represents all Americans from all backgrounds and all walks of life. We are asking for the votes of Republicans, Democrats, independents, and first-time voters. We're going to have a lot of that. We're going to have a lot of great people, 45 years old, 50 years old, 67. I'll tell you, I met a first-time voter in Tennessee, 92 years old, the most beautiful woman, 92 years old, first-time voter, most incredible person. We have so many, and these are great Americans. They've just never found anybody they really wanted to vote for. Now they have.